Hi everyone, it's me, the one and only Can Sparkle. Well, the Sparkle Girl, whatever you like to call me. So I don't mind. So just to let you guys know that I am getting a bit better after what happened the last time, and I just thought to tell you guys I'm not going to include anyone in the video today because I just thought it's best just me just for the day because it's no point in having people on my live stream anyway because sometimes I not really like being interrupted or it's just it's harder to get my words sometimes, but I just hope everyone can understand that I don't like being interrupted, and I hope everyone can frustrating sometimes. But don't get me wrong, I know people like to talk as well, but you have to understand that I sometimes feel like a bit, that I can't speak up sometimes when someone is talking, So yeah. So anyway, you can obviously can see the title on the video, and let's just say I'm going to talk about bullying. So can I just get to the point that I'm going to tell you guys that I just think it's fair enough that those who needs well, it's complicated, but can I just be honest? To those who had the sort of hate towards me needs to back off sometimes because the only thing I need to say that my dad said to me, the only thing is to do is to ignore. So yeah, and no, it's not anyone's fault for not letting me speak. So it's just sometimes I just need to remind everyone that I sometimes need to speak up. So it's not you guys' fault. Don't worry. It's just sometimes it's just one of those things that I get. So let's just say the whole point is that the thing you guys know someone that I not really like much. Um, well, it's a she, which I can't really mention anymore because I'm over it now. So let's just say it's been happening since 2022, and besides, nobody should hate me at all. Well, it's okay sometimes if they don't like me much. The only thing, the way if they don't like me, the only thing, well, sorry. So the dude who doesn't like me, it's fine. Just don't take your behavior out of me. The only thing to do is to ignore me. So that's fair enough. That's what my dad told me. So okay, so okay, so it's up to me to talk about something that I want to talk about here. So okay, so let's just say ever since 2019, I think it's been happening ever since. So that's the whole point because I don't like bullying, and I know you guys don't either, and I don't blame you. But let's just say you got to understand that I feel more upset about it than you possibly imagine. So yeah. And yes, of course, there is someone else who has been bullying me recently, which I don't want to talk about anymore because I needed to, go forward, put the past behind me, and move on. That's the only way to do. But sometimes I needed to talk about it because I can't just ignore it all the time. Well, sometimes you can ignore it, depends on what it's up to your choices though. But the only thing is to do is always ignore but to those who doesn't like you. So maybe yeah. Okay, so that's the only thing. But I know all of you guys who likes me, and I really appreciate it. Thank you. And I like you too because you're the best friends I have on YouTube. especially my best friend who I know in real life. Well, you can obviously can guess, Sophie. Yeah, well, to tell you this, if you're watching this as well, Sophie, I hope you can appreciate that I love you because you're like a sister to me. Yeah, yeah, okay. So I was thinking on asking everyone what is your best advice and what is what do you think we should to stop this whole bullying to stop? Let me know in the comments, please. Thank you. I really want to see what you think. Thank you. And yeah, and yeah, and don't worry. I know that you guys don't like bullying either, so I'm just going to remind you guys to not change the subject or anything because it's best to follow this video and you know whatever you know. So yeah, so that's the whole thing because sometimes we need to think about other people's feelings sometimes, not just ourselves. So that's the whole point sometimes because my mom and dad did told me this like loads of times, and I sometimes can sometimes ignore them some time to time, but but then I suddenly realized that that my parents are right. So don't blame me to ignore them for the first time. Yeah. So if those who hate me who are watching, please don't watch this video if you don't like me. So it's your opinion and that's fine, but I don't want to hear any more arguments. So if you don't like me, please go away. Thank you. So I I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. Well, to those who doesn't like me, but sometimes they need to learn that they can't just go and say that they don't agree with me or anything, something like that. And I just find it unacceptable just because they think they have every right to say they don't like me just because they don't like me. That's just silly. So, and I couldn't even care less anyway. So, okay, so so here's a friend of mine, Shiva calls it, and she said that we all came up together as a team to politely to tell them to stop. So yeah, that's a good idea, Shiva calls it. That's a good choice to do. So I was wondering if anyone else who has any ideas we should able to stop this bullying from from going on, please let me know. And so um, I don't know. Okay, so uh, I do need some help here, guys. I'm not really good at words, so okay, okay. So my friend with the dude said, if you're being bullied, you must never let words get to you. Words are like bullets, and I will never be hurt by them. Oh, okay. Thank you, Mr. Dude. You're the best. Yeah. So, okay. Trying to think. Well, let's just say I learned this from high school a long time ago that sometimes when some people seem to have this sort of idea to bully you just because they feel, depressed, upset, whatever, whatever, and and something like that. Like if you think about Myrtle Edmonds from Lilo and Stitch, for example, she always had this sort of depression, and she decided to take it out on Lilo for whatever reason she has. Either her dad is either not there anymore, or something like that, or maybe he either died, or he moved away, or being divorced from Myrtle's mum or something like that. Yeah. Well, you can't possibly blame Myrtle for being upset, but what Myrtle did to Lilo is not right. It's wrong. Just because you're sad, it doesn't mean you have to take your emotions on other people because it's not really fair at all. I mean, can you think about that? I mean, like think twice about how you feel sometimes and don't even think that you think that you have rights to do so because it's not really allowed. Because sometimes I learned them from every staff that I know from the high school that I know back in the olden days. Sorry, I mean back in the sometimes somewhere from the early 2010, something like that, until 2020. Yeah, that's the last time I been in that school. I miss that school sometimes, but the school it hasn't been the same anymore because there's something's going on, but I'd rather keep it to myself because it's quite personal, and you wouldn't want to know. Sorry. So well, speaking about that high school, I remember that there are some few boys that you can be a bit of a bully in this school actually. Um, well, I just say sometimes I do want to talk about it, and sometimes I don't, and it's quite hard for me to talk about here. To talk about to those who bullies or whatever. Let's just say some boys can pick on the other sometimes, but I just find it not nice. But the only way is to not get involved because it's their business, because the teachers did told me once that it's supposed not to get involved sometimes when someone else is having their moments. So maybe it's best you guys don't get involved with someone else's drama. And I know I did that before, but I'm not gonna do that anymore ever again because it's not my business. So what's the point? So don't get me wrong, but I feel like sometimes when someone gets involved with someone else's drama, it can easily affect them, but not just those who gets affected by it themselves. That's the whole reason, really. Yeah. Okay. So um. So I just say just hang on a minute. I just need to think about something else. It's gonna take a while, but I'm sure I will think of something. Um. Okay, so hang on a minute. Um. Okay. Okay. Just hang on a minute, guys. It's just gonna look at something first. Hang on. Okay, so I found one of them, and I also want to talk about to those who pick some people who has autism. Well, can I just be honest? No matter who has it or not, always respect each other because it's the only thing to talk about is that no matter who you either like or dislike or neutral, always support them, respect them no matter what. No matter how much you don't like to hear it or not, because sometimes we all need to learn these things. Because you guys need to know that bullying is not okay. I'm not getting angry or anything. It's just let's just say it's my voice to make sure you know. You can tell by the sound of my voice that you need to hear it from me. So yeah. So can I just be honest? Um, it's not really appropriate to treat people with autism in a bad way because I just think it's unacceptable. I mean, And I'm sorry, guys, but this needs to be stopped. And I'm sorry for saying this, but it's true. But it's not just true, but it's also the fact that not everyone can be the same. Well, let's just say we're all being born to be different, but we are still people no matter what. And also, people treating other people just by being racist. I mean, come on. I mean, does that really matter to you? I mean, it doesn't that matter anyway because sometimes talking about our appearance, like we're either white, we are black, whatever, it doesn't matter. We're still people. So let's just say, and also some people can treat other people from who speaks different language really bad too. Tell me about it. Like imagine, like if you think about was it Germ- Germany and Ukraine. Just think about that one. I mean, well, don't get me wrong. I feel sorry for Ukraine, so it's hard to. I'd rather not keep going on about that because it's just getting violent. And I'm sorry, but it's getting a bit too scary for me. So you've got to understand that it can be scary for the other people too. Okay, okay. So okay, just hang on a minute. So sometimes, well, no matter who started it, I mean, it doesn't matter who started the whole drama in the first place because it doesn't really that matter anyway. Sometimes it can for some people, but clearly it doesn't for almost everyone. So, so can I just be honest? Making a bad decision of making horrible videos out of people, well, can I just get to the point? That's it's not appropriate. And I'm sorry, but you need to think about it. Like, think twice. I know you guys, those who doesn't like me, who may going to disagree with me, then that's fine. I'm not bothered by that. But you got to understand that you can't just go ahead by making rants or something else, whatever it is. You shouldn't do something like that. It's inappropriate. So you may figure it isn't, but it is. So tough. It's just the fact. So yeah. So well, okay. So okay. So sometimes people can make mistakes, but it's not too late to fix things sometimes. So if those who wanted to forgive you, then it's up to them. So if you really want to change.
Can I have that?
What?
Can I use that?
Yeah. Sorry about that. That was my dad. Okay, so anyway, where was I? Okay. So where I would say I think I was about to say that sometimes fixing problems can be a good thing, you know? So that's the whole point because if you really want to change your ways, then it's up to you. And I don't blame you if you want to, because sometimes people can make mistakes, and sometimes we have to be feel sorry and regretted for being, horrible to some people. But sometimes we just have to accept those who doesn't want to change. But if those who does want to, then that's fine with them. So we have to accept their decision and choice, whether we like it or not. So that's the whole thing. So can I just get to the point? Um. So anyway, so blaming on other people just because you done something wrong, well, that's not really nice at all. Like framing other people, sheesh. Honestly, okay, okay, calm down. trying to think of something else. And sometimes if those he doesn't want to talk about those that you know, if they don't want to mention some people they don't like impersonal, and they don't want to mention their names or anything, or whatever they did from the past, it's actually fine with them, and it's up to them, and it's their choice. So we need to accept that. Yeah. So, can I just be honest? Some people may find some bad videos that bullies people can be funny, but well, no, sorry. I know some of those who may think it's funny, but it's fine with them. But sometimes you got to think it through. Like, this is serious. You can't just go ahead and pick on other people. So yeah. And you can't just get away with it because if you really need to think it through, go and talk to whoever you want to talk to, like your parents or siblings or whoever, people that you know from school or something like that, teachers, the staff member, friends, something like that. So, well, something like that anyway. Or a caretaker, something like that, who take care of you while your parents are in work or something, who are busy. Yeah. Okay, so and keep saying sorry when they still acting up, like keep behaving like they think bad about other people all the time. Well, that's just cruel. So can I just be honest? Keep saying sorry even though you're still acting up and that. Well, I don't know how to say this, but sometimes keep saying sorry is just not an good excuse. So that's what I want to say. Okay, so all this shenanigans, well, that's the whole few things I also want to mention. If you really want to know what the word shenanigan means, it's something to do with teenagers who acting up, something like that. So anyway, I just like behaving naughty, something like that, or acting mysterious, something like that. Ooh, creepy. Okay. So the only way is to that you don't personally like, that's totally fine. But the only way is to just to ignore them is to ignore and block them. Okay. And I'm not being horrible or anything, but I am trying to be nice. Okay. So don't take it in the wrong stick. So yeah. And sometimes, when someone is getting injured or dying or something in a terrible attack or something, or accident or whatever, and some people find it okay to take videos of it. Honestly, goodness sake, what kind of people are they doing something like that? I mean, seriously, that's just harsh. Ugh. That just reminds me from this moment from this thingy episode from EastEnders back in 2017 when Keegan used to be a naughty boy and he did take a video with all the people like screaming and then you're like, I'm hurting, so like that. I mean, seriously, not Keegan. Oh boy. No, I don't know why. I'm not too sure if those will understand what I'm talking about here. But EastEnders is one of those TV shows that I watch in the UK because it's a British soap, yeah, drama sort of thing. That's what EastEnders is about, everyone. EastEnders is a drama, like do 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 do. That's the tune of the song. Sorry, the music. They don't have lyrics, just music, in case you're wondering. So, okay, so, um, sometimes, like when people started to steal other people's artwork. Well, let's just say there's loads of people who does that anyway, so don't get me wrong. So let's just say sometimes they find it okay to take them just because they like them, But I understand that they're like some people's art, but that's not enough excuse for why they did it for whatever reason, you know. So, but can I just get to the point? You shouldn't really allow to take other people's personal artwork when it doesn't belong to you. And I'm not talking to one person, I'm talking to everyone directly, in case you're wondering. And yes, well, and sometimes I need to mention that sometimes some people who doesn't really understand or know about how much effort that almost puts on their artwork or videos or anything or whatever like that, so like that. Okay. Um, um, just hang on a minute. Um, oh yeah, Chloe from Marcus Ladybug, and she keeps picking on Marinette. Honestly, goodness sake, can't this girl just give her Marinette a break, or give herself a break? I mean, tell me about it. Yeah, well, um, well, can I just be honest? I did like Chloe at first when I first saw Miraculous, but I'm starting to not liking her because she's getting annoying and she's getting a bit bratty, and she can't be, bleh, give me a break. Okay, so and sometimes people can accuse some people for something that they didn't realize that they did or something like that. Well, that's just sometimes people can accuse you for whatever reason, because sometimes when someone accuses you of something that you really didn't done, or sometimes they do accuse you that you did done but didn't realize it, something like that. So, and sometimes some people can be in denial. So I was like that once, so don't get me wrong, but I realized that, so I'm sorry. Okay, thank you, and I bet whoever will appreciate that. I'm really am sorry. Okay, so okay, um, just hang on a minute. Okay, so if those who doesn't like you, so the only way is to deal with this situation is to ignore them, and and it's not wasting your time. I mean, wasting your time on them anyway, because it's best to just don't watch them, don't look at them, just keep what you're doing and do what's best for yourself. Okay, so that's the only way. So yeah. So okay, so sorry, it's sometimes I needed to take my breath sometimes in this, you know. Okay, hang on. Uh-huh. Okay. sometimes us people really need to handle criticism some time to time. Well, it depends on on the situation. So yeah. So instead of bullying everyone, well, if you really want to, you could you can always talk to me or anyone that you want to talk to when it comes to you know the word. Okay. Um okay. So we can listen to you. So yeah. And I'm not here to be angry or anything. It's just sometimes I need to you know expressing my thoughts, you know, and facts and everything that everyone needs to know. Okay. Oh, and judging by how we act, do something different, sort like that, or our skills or hobbies or how we live, well, sometimes we can't control or how we do or anything. Because, well, that's the whole thing, isn't it? Because, well, anyway. So, sometimes when someone's getting judged by some people and there's who doesn't want to hear it from them, sometimes they think it's okay to not listen to them when they keep saying that they don't want to hear it. But sometimes you can't just go and keep saying that you don't want to hear it. Because sometimes you do need to hear it, because some people just needed to make sure you that you know what you're doing sometimes. Because sometimes we none of us don't even know what we actually been doing the whole time. So that's the whole thing. So yeah. so so like I said, just remember to block, ignore, don't overreact, and don't give to those who bullies you or whoever. Don't give them any attention at all. So because it's just wasting our time, like that. So yeah. So anyway, guys, sometimes we just need to sort ourselves out sometimes when it comes to this. So yeah. So like I said, don't take your behavior or emotions out on other people and think twice about it. And if you really want to just be free to do so. So yeah. So anyway, I'll leave you guys to it. So if you really want to talk to me, just come to me, and I always here if you need me. Okay, like like you guys do to me, right? So yeah. So anyway, I am fine deeply. So anyway, I hope you guys can understand that I am fine, but don't worry, don't feel sorry for me. I am definitely fine. So yeah. So anyway, I'll leave you guys to it, and I hope you have a nice day. So to those of you who supports me and that, it's really appreciate that I get to see you guys again, because I haven't spoken to you guys for a while, did I? Yeah. So yeah. And to those of you who doesn't like me, then that's fine. But please stop watching me, ignore me, and move on. That's the only way. So anyway, I hope everyone can understand that I just rather keep it this way. I hope everyone can understand that I don't want any more drama. Yeah. So no more drama after this video. Okay. Thank you, everyone. I really appreciate you all. So bye, everyone.